Are we about to have some serious selling this week in the markets? We're going to dive into the charts and see what they're pointing at, see what they're telling us, because they always drop clues before they make these moves. We're also going to be going over quite a few other tickers. So we'll go over Qs as well on top of SPY here. We'll also go over Hood and Bitcoin in today's video. As always, leave a comment down below. The one that gets the most thumbs up each week, I will add into next week's video. By the way, I do these videos every single week to help you be a little bit more prepared in your trading so that you don't have to make the same mistakes as everyone else. Hopefully, you're seeing these markets a little bit better from these videos and they're helping you to be a little bit more consistent in your trading. So let's dive into these markets. Let's talk about SPY because man, it's not looking great. 525 is the spot that really needs to hold, and we are currently gapping below it. In fact, we're starting to take out 520 as well. These are some really big option levels. This is where the bulls should have been at. If we were trying to do some sort of flag pattern through here, well, we just took that out on this gap here. So we'll see where we actually open. Markets are not open yet, so we've got a little bit of time here, but it's not looking all that great. So if 520 does break, there's not a whole lot holding this thing up, and that's going to bring us all the way back down, probably into 500, maybe even 480 for this week. 500 is our next real options level spot, and yeah, that's back where the volume's starting to come into as well. So I would look for 500 to be a short-term holdup, but really 480 right back down to the low of the previous bounce is where these markets are going to get to if these bulls do not start to come in. Now, on a smaller time frame, we do have a few trend lines trying to hold us up around 515. So we're going to see if those end up coming in as a bounce or if tweets come in as well, because, you know, news can change this market so quickly. But for right now, markets rampaged up and they're just stuck. We're stuck inside of this huge big bull day, but it's not getting any support. We're not getting any follow through. And out here at this crazy support is where these bulls just keep failing. There's no follow through. So me personally, I'm still waiting on these markets to potentially find some buyers and start working our way up into the final gap fill here on SPY into 560, maybe even 565. We'll see if that ends up happening, but it's going to have to step in here soon. I mean, I could see us wick down a little bit, but we're going to see some lower wicks coming in and some strong moves happening. These engulfing candles here are really good sentiment readers. And so it took a lot of movement and sentiment to be able to create this candle right here. And so it does give us a really good idea of where momentum is trying to shift to. But overall price action is still very much bearish momentum on a weekly, on a daily, on all these larger time frames. The bears are still very much in control. So we are putting in lower lows, lower highs. What would make sense is another lower low, right? That's what the markets are trying to work on. But then we get this big bull engulfing candle here on SPY. It does kind of change things a little bit. So with this big bull engulfing candle coming in, I'm waiting for these bulls to follow through, and then I feel like this overall momentum will start to play out. Markets love to trap people, and so what I'm expecting is a higher high to come in, us starting to take out some of these lower highs, bulls jump in, and then things fall apart if the bears are going to pull the rug out. At this point, I'm not sure we're going to get that price action. It might just fall off, and so it all depends what we do here at this 520 to 525 level on SPY. If the bulls can hold it, if we start getting candles that look like this, okay, the door's still open, we can continue moving higher. We start closing strong below 520, a retest is going to get shorted, and we are on our way down to 500 or even 480 this week, or potentially lower. If 480 doesn't hold, then this was just a complete lower high, and we're on our way to a lower low. If those levels start to break, look for 450. 450 to 420 is going to be a very, very strong support area on some longer time frame stuff on SPY. So keep an eye out for that. Qs are very similar. We're gapping down into a very strong support. We've been putting in lower wicks. We put in an inside candle here on a daily. We're gapping below both of that. It's just not very strong. There's not a lot of bulls here. So if the bears do close strong, I would say look for the first couple hours of today's candle here on Monday to continue to drop. If this closes strong down for the first few hours, yeah, we're most likely going to be closing lower, maybe get a retest, and then this thing is going to start to drop. We also have earnings this week coming out across a lot of tech. it's going to get very, very interesting right now because there's a lot of uncertainties with tariffs. People don't know what it's going to be looking like. So forecasts are going to be pretty tough to see how it's going to play out. So we shall see what's going to happen here. For the Qs, again, your key levels are going to be looking around 410 to 400. If the bears are going to start to step in, bulls need to hold this level to see if they're going to double bottom. If this starts to fall apart, we could be looking at 380 to 360-ish or so on the Qs for this week. It could get pretty ugly. If the bulls decide to hold it and go strong, I'm going to look for the 200 EMA to get retested. So that's around 480 or so. I really like that area. It looks good. It makes the most sense to me that we will get bought up and continue to push higher, but we're going to have to find this out here over the next day or so. We need to see the bulls come in very hard with lots and lots of buying to hold this support. I don't mind a little trap coming in, but it's going to have to close well up above 440, 450 area for the bulls to start trying to get there. So let's see if this will play. If we close weak over, Monday, I would expect some sort of retest, if anything, and then a drop back down. Remember, we got a lot of bear days in a row, so we want to be a little bit cautious on this. If we take a look at the 1 hour RSI, it's not too low. In fact, we're ready for a move. Yeah, this could get a little bit ugly. I mean, it's not looking the strongest I've ever seen. So let's dive over here into Hood. And before I give you my analysis on Hood, feel free to check out the links down below because it has a whole lot of free trading courses, completely free, no strings attached. Jump down there if you want to learn how to trade. There's tons of beginner courses for you to walk you through that. If you're a little bit more advanced trader, if you've been going for a little bit, but you're struggling to see some consistent returns, or you just want to learn some new strategies, etc., we have a whole lot of free courses down there as well to teach you how to read price action a little bit better, because really that is going to be the game changer for you. You can also do some free consultation. We also do that on a weekly basis. And so you can sign up to meet with one of our top traders, meet one-on-one with them over Zoom, and they can help figure out where you're struggling, where your issues might be, where you're stuck at. So if you're interested in doing something like that, please come check us out. Click out the links down below. It's all free. We want to do our best to give back to you and to help you out. We make enough money through trading that we give all this stuff out for free, and that's what makes real life trading different. So links are down below in that. Let's dive into Hood here. So Hood is actually putting in some pretty nice buying structure. It's just not following through quite yet. So I love the fact that the bears took this low and then immediately got rejected. Again, these engulfing candles are pretty powerful. Keep an eye out for that. So now we are just working on a little bit of a resting pattern. I would expect this 200 EMA to hold around $36, $37 this week. So even if we do get some selling, it should get bought up. We do have earnings coming up here within a week or two, and that could change everything, right, across the board. But so far, I like this buying that's trying to come in through here on Hood. I would need to see some strong daily candle closures above $45 would be my first step, and then 50. If we start making moves like this, it's time to buy the dip. I wouldn't personally buy this thing yet. Let the markets show you their hand. Let the markets claim $50, $55. Then on retest, the door is opened. You have the confirmation that the strength is now to the bull side, and you can jump in there with a higher probability and still have really good returns on that trade with a higher win rate. If you're trying to guess through here, this could go a lot lower. I mean, we could probably head down to the 200. I would imagine that holds. We could be coming all the way back down to $30 again and revisiting some of these lows. That could be on the table. So no matter what, this looks relatively bullish to me. I just wouldn't be buying it. Remember, it's all about reading that momentum first and then figuring out where you want to go ahead and place your entry. Momentum is not the place to get in. Momentum is showing you direction and strength. Now you plan your entry after you have that momentum. And so for me personally, it's looking bullish based on the fact that the bears did not hold their lows very well. We are down into a nice buying spot. I would wait for it to claim some ground for the bulls above 50 and then retest, open the door, and it should be going bullish a lot higher. All right, so let's dive over into Bitcoin here real quick. So Bitcoin, kind of the same story, right? Nice buying coming off of these lows. I would like it to claim, what ground is this here? 88,700 area. If we can get some strong daily closures up above that, then dip should be coming back in. That would be a very nice double bottom, and things would be looking pretty good. For a weekly chart, that is a pretty strong double top, but we're working on a really nice double bottom here right off of this support line. So it is pretty nice. momentum here for the bulls that are there trying to build. And so again, just be a little bit more patient. Let it claim its ground. It might run for a week without you and then let it come back down. And that's a much higher probability than trying to guess what it's going to do here, because it's not out of the woods yet, right? We are at the resistance. Everyone sees this big bull move. They see this nice breakout. It is a nice breakout of the pennant pattern. But as this starts to pop up, everybody's getting in. This could just fold back down. It's not confirmed yet. I would be waiting for daily closures above that 88,000, 89,000 range, even in the 90,000. Get a strong close, retest, and things could be looking pretty good from there. So be careful in this area. If we do an expected move here off of this pennant pattern, wow, look at that key bull level held, really nice. If we do an expected move off of this pennant pattern, we still have a little bit higher to go. So it's going to bring us right into that 89,000 mark. And that could be a decent little retest spot that could fall or get bought back up. So I think we've got a little bit more to go. Let it claim its ground, let it close strong, retest. Let's start playing this game bullish and start making some money off of Bitcoin. So I hope this video helped you be a little bit more prepared for this week. Look at these levels, watch price action, and then let the markets prove to you what they're trying to do. Once they show their hand and you see that momentum, now it's time to start planning your entry. Don't feel like it's leaving without you. Don't feel like you're rushed, like you're just going to miss it. If you do, that's fine. I would rather have a better entry and miss out on a trade and a move completely than to be so scared that I'm not going to get in, that I jump into something that I have a really bad entry on, and then now trading gets stressful because I'm losing on it the entire time for the retest where you should have never been in. I'd much rather be out of a trade wishing I was in than in a trade wishing I was out, right? That's where you got to really start thinking about risk. Let go of the reward and just focus on your risk. Again, come check us out over at reallifetrading.com. Tons of free courses there to teach you how to trade. Fantastic community to teach you how to trade and to learn from. We do live coaching in our community every single week. So that is our lifetime membership. It's $97 one time. You're in it for life, and you can come trade alongside of us. You can be part of our community, get your questions answered, look at tickers with us, walk through stuff, and also get live coaching from professional traders on a weekly basis, all included in that one-time $97. If you'd like to do a little bit more of an upgrade and come trade live with us on our screen every single day, that's the All Access Pass. You can try a 7-day free trial there. So check out the links down below for that. Love you guys. Have a great week. Follow your plan. Read that momentum. Stay patient, and I promise you it'll pay off in the long run.